Hey team, it's Daniel again with Brazos Valley Boars and Varmints. So today we are doing the full review of the iRay RH25. This little bitty helmet mounted thermal has been changing the way that we look at helmet mounted thermals, what they can do, and all the things that we love about them. And this is at an amazing price. Guys, let's dig into it. So guys, I've wanted to get my hands on one of these things since the day that I heard that it was announced. And so finally I reached out to Paul Tyson over at GearTheHunt.com and said, hey man, love to do a review on it. And he sent one over very quickly to me. And I've been enjoying playing with this thing ever since he let me get that box. So guys, go visit his website, North Texas Piggin Products at GearTheHunt.com and check out his Facebook page. He's real active on there as well. The guy's great, customer service is wonderful, and this thing is a quality product amongst all the other quality products that he sells. But let's talk about this one. So overall, this is a 640 by 512 helmet mounted thermal that can do 4 different things. It can, like I said, be mounted on your helmet. Because it's so small and the right size for your hand, guys, if I wear latex gloves like you get at Home Depot, Harbor Freight, something like that, I wear XL gloves. And so because it's so small, it can easily be held in your hand and used as a scanner. This can also be used as a standalone 1X scope. So that way you can just put it right on the rifle, or you can put it in front of your day optic and then run this as a clip-on scope. So that way you can use like your 1x6, 1x8, 1x10, whatever that is, but get this one in front of it so you can still run the same daytime scope that you have your BDC and all that stuff that you love and know, all while using the same rifle that you love and know, but you get to add the superpower of thermal built in front of it. So 4 different things that it can do, and I love how right now this is $4,000. You know, when this first came out, it was priced at about $6,000, which where the market was when this came out, that made sense for the price point and what else was out there. Now I'm so glad that iRay has been able to drop that price down to $4,000, so it makes a lot more sense for a lot more people. It does have a 50 frame hertz refresh rate. It does have a 25 millimeter lens on the front. It is sub 12 micron sensitivity and comes in weighing at only 12.7 ounces. And another smart decision that iRay made with this is for it to run off of 18650 batteries. Now, cool thing, in the package, they send you 2 18650s. And one thing that's different about the ones that they actually send you is that if you can see right there, it's kind of hard to see in this light, but it's the kind of 18650 that you can plug in with a USB-C and directly charge this with the same cord that like your iPhone, your brand new iPhones, USB-Cs. You can just charge this directly without having a charger. But also, they do send you a charger and the cord with it, so that way you can do both of them at the same time. Or, like I said, you can just use something like your iPhone charger. That USB-C is becoming very ubiquitous, so you can use anything else that uses that same cord, and they send you 2 batteries. Now, the battery life is listed at about 4 hours, but that's going to be totally dependent on what type of battery that you get. Obviously, the type is 18650, but are you getting one that is 3,400 milliamp hours like this one is, or are you getting one that's a little bit more, a little bit less? Right, you get the idea. The bigger the milliamp hour, the longer that this is going to run between you having to change this out. And you still get the great iRay warranty of 5 years with a 5-day turnaround on this. And guys, looking through this out in the field, the imaging is great. It is wonderful. It is top class imaging. This is great. I love this little device. So let's talk a little bit more about how each one of these things works a little bit differently. It does come with a good, easy to use, easy to read manual. Now, mind you, it is long. It does have 27 different topics that it tries to cover with you, and it takes 51 pages to do that. But it's got good graphics, it explains things well, and so they do a good job with their manual here, which actually goes a long way. Now, the easiest way to use this is obviously handheld scanner. And one thing that I noticed is that if you're familiar with the camera world, then you know that there is such different types of lenses as full frame lenses and cropped lenses. And one of the things that we noticed was that when you hold this up in one direction, as if it's going to be mounted on your helmet, well, then it goes to a full frame view, and so you really are seeing a 1x view of everything, right? So because if you're wearing it on your helmet, that's how you want this to be used, that's how you want to wear it. Now, one bad thing about wearing this on your helmet is it doesn't come with all of the pieces that are required to do that. You do have to buy an add-on piece from the same, just go into the same website. Paul's got those things also. And you do have to buy an add-on to make the connections work for it to go onto your helmet. But guys, if you're buying this, you're gonna want to get that also, so that way you can wear it on your helmet the way that it was intended. So on your helmet, it goes into a full frame view at 1x, but when you flip it over, it goes into a scanning mode, which then is more of a cropped image. So it shows you a bigger image. It basically zooms in a little bit more on it. So that way, everything, if you're holding it handheld, you're not going to be driving with it probably. You're not going to have to require all of the full frame that you would need in helmet. So in handheld scanning mode, just by flipping it over, that's all you do, is go from helmet to scan, and this thing realizes what's up and down, and it knows that you're probably stationary, you're probably scanning, and it shows you everything a little bit bigger. And so it's almost like having two different magnifications. Yes, it's still labeled as a 1x thermal monocular, and it works great as a helmet-mounted thermal monocular. But it's a different thing whenever you're holding it in the scanner mode, because then it realizes, hey, this person might want a little bit more magnification. It basically just zooms up the image. Not much, just a little bit more, but that's nice. You actually don't see that on any of the other thermals that I've ever ran before. So iRay's putting some extra thought into this. Also, it does show you like the cardinal direction, north, south, east, west. There's a way to calibrate that, but it does show you that. And it also shows you what angle, what pitch you're looking at as well. So if you do have to think about if you're aiming uphill, downhill, all of that information is just built right into it. So, if you're building these high-end electronics and that's useful data for some people, you might as well have it in there. Now, you can go into the menu and turn all that off if you would like. However, it wasn't distracting at all, and I kind of liked it. So I left it all on. It was some real nice information to work with. You can go into the rifle mode, and obviously there's multiple reticles that you can use to use different scopes, just like we're used to seeing. And then you've got a variation of crosshairs that you can pick from, and then you can use this as a rifle setup as well, again with that one power base magnification. And in the thick woods, and then also when I see hogs that are fixing to run out of the corn, if I've already got a 1x on the rifle, having that wide field of view for all of that is really nice, especially if they're not in an open field where they're going to be able to run several hundred yards away, because then I would want more than 1x. But again, for helmet and then also for your tight areas, 1x is great. So this is wonderful. For using it on the rifle, it does come with a mount so that way it is a thumb screw. You just tighten those on. It does come with the mount so you can put it on the rifle, but it's not a quick attach detach. If you did want QD, then you would have to buy that as a separate item. Again, just go to the website. Paul's got those as well, but that is a separate thing if you did want QD. Now there is a separate piece that you can buy that puts the helmet part on the very top, and if you do it that way, well then you can have the helmet attachment on top and then the rifle attachment on bottom. So that way if you were having to transition, you could do all that stuff seamlessly, right? So that is something that it's a thing, but it is a fixable thing, right? You just buy the right part and you can make all that stuff happen the way that you want it to and use this any way that you want to. So guys, the imaging on this is great. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. I could just sit here and repeat all these adjectives that are wonderful about it, but let's go into a few things that I do wish were different. Now, right off the bat, one of the things I love about this is that it does have video recording. So being that I'm a content creator, I love having as much details, much information as I possibly can inside of here. So it does have built-in video. Now you will read that it has audio as well, but the audio would be if you were using the app and you had that on your phone, and then it could record audio through the app and so it's not directly on here. This itself doesn't have a microphone to record audio. There is a workaround way. However, at the same time, I have not used that because I don't want to try to be running the app while running this. Plus, also, I'm using my phone for other things, whether I'm using the caller or I'm using, like I'm actually calling somebody or texting somebody. So I want to use my phone for other things. I don't want to have to use it for that. So there is a workaround to get audio, but I do wish that it was built in. However, I get it, man. Once you start adding in microphones, you got to have good quality microphones because there's nothing worse than having a bad one. And then, that the price starts to go up, and I understand there's a lot more problems that go into it, but at least we do get a video recording. Another weird thing about that video is that the output for it is this port right here. And my cover for this port has a hard time staying in place. It always wants to pop out. And now being that it's this type of a port, I've got to have a special cord to go along with it. And so that special cord, let me grab the right end here for you. This special cord, it goes in there perfect, and the files came off seamlessly. That was all great and fine. But if you ever go somewhere and you don't have this cord, then there's no way to get your images off of here unless you're using the app. You're using the app, well, that's fine, you can get it all off. But I like to take my videos and bring them directly off of the thermal itself. And I wish it would have been a USB-C. Everything else is moving to USB-C or a USB micro, whichever, any of these common ones, rather than having this special cord to be able to use that. So my port cover keeps wanting to come off, and I'm just not as excited about that. Maybe, this is just a one-off, but the fact that you have to use a special cord, man, that's something I wish was a little bit more up to date. The 3 buttons, they work great. There's nothing wrong there. I love that. Lens cap stayed out of my way. I loved that. Focus is easy to use. There's my diopter focus, my objective focus, all great, easy stuff. So that was good. But the fact that you do have to buy those extra parts to make everything work, to get the full potential out of it, is something that, man, I wish Alray would have thrown that in there with it as well. I get it, that brings the price back up again, and so that makes this less competitive, because for $4,000 you get the unit and the rifle capability, but not the helmet capability. But guys, there still is a lot of great quality and features built into this. Again, the fact that you can use this as a clip-on and be able to use your BDC on your regular daytime optic that you're used to using, and you can, all that stuff still converts over seamlessly as long as you collimate this correctly, well then, man, that's great. If you want to use this as a standalone 1x scope, it works wonderful. If you want to use it as a scanner, this thing fits into a pocket, super simple, small, easy. Love it. This thing is lightweight, just like it should be, right? Because it's supposed to go on your helmet where it works great. So guys, there is a lot of wonderful things to say about this little bitty optic that has really changed the helmet mounted world, because so many guys, if you watch these helmet dudes, they have moved over to this, and it's for very good reason, because this is a great optic at a great price. Because guys, it's always hog season. Bye.